General's Mounted Color Guard Cavalry Tactics Demonstration. Now for a moment, I would like you to join me as we travel just for a little while to a different time in history to our great nation. The last 1800s was a very different time from today. It was a time when wars were fought with the keen edge of a saber and the pungent smell of black powder filled the battlefield. A time when man and horse had to be empty of fear and hesitation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the arena the modern representations of our great cavalry heritage, the Fort Riley Commanding General's Mounted Color Guard demonstration team. All of the riders you see before you today have deployed and fought in either Iraq or Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the defenders of freedom. And now, without further ado, Sergeant Evans, conduct your cavalry tactics demonstration. The Commanding General's Mounted Color Guard was founded in 1992 by a group of military and civilian volunteers. The Army began to actively promote the unit until 1994 by staffing it with active duty soldiers and housing it in the historic cavalry barracks on Fort Riley, Kansas. All of the riders you see before you are active duty soldiers currently assigned to the unit, which is part of the legendary Big Red One. When soldiers try out for the unit, they must endure a rigorous 30-day tryout period where they are taught how to ride both in saddle and bareback, as well as jumping, swordsmanship, and mounted shooting. If chosen to remain with the unit, at the end of the 30 days, the soldier is given a 2-year assignment traveling around the country promoting the U.S. Army and the Big Red One. All of the maneuvers that you see here today were used by the cavalry to teach horses and soldiers to work together in the midst of battle, and that we have it on good authority that they were also used to show off to their sweethearts upon returning from a campaign. These movements may not look difficult, but trust me, they are not easy, and failure either meant an injury on the battlefield or a lonely night back at garrison. DNC was only one of the many things that troopers had to practice every day with their mounts. Here you see one of the more difficult maneuvers, the wheel. Let's hear it for them, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, watch as our soldiers execute the saber melee. The melee was intended to teach horses and the soldiers to stay calm in battle. However, boys will be boys, and it didn't take long for this exercise to turn into a high-stakes game of last man riding. We wonder why the life expectancy of cavalry was so short back then. This next exercise is the test of the rider's hand-eye coordination as well as a chance to show off. Now, the louder the crowd gets, the further these rings will fly. So let's see how loud you can get. Heads up, ladies and gentlemen, these will go pretty far. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our demo leader, Sergeant Evans, is showing how a cavalryman shakes hands with the enemy. He's riding his faithful steed, Jim. Next up is Sergeant Wright. He's riding Cincinnati, and he is using an 1861 light cavalry saber, ladies and gentlemen. The cavalry saber was a last resort weapon and was often left at camp and only attached to the saddle during parades and ceremonies. Next is Sergeant Watson on saber. Next up is Trooper Frost, and he is riding Trooper, the only Mustang in our herd, and this will be Trooper's last demo, so give him a loud welcome. Next up is Trooper Porter riding Matt.
Huh? I didn't realize those troopers on his team.
Next up is Trooper Strayer riding Lexington.
Come on, man.
Give him some encouragement, folks.
Good for her to do that. That was awesome. That was the right thing to do.
And she's still on, ladies and gentlemen.
At least she's having fun.
She's probably
Probably is hurt.
Trooper Evans was now demonstrating the use of the most prominent weapon of the cavalry, the single-action pistol. The primary pistol used by the Civil War era cavalry was the 1860 revolving belt pistol of the Navy cavalry. However, these pistols have bad reputation for chain firing if they were not greased, which is why all the cylinders fire at one time, making it a makeshift hand grenade. How about that run by Trooper Sergeant Wright? Since everyone tends to like having hands, we have begun using a safer and more expedient model 1873 single-action Colt, commonly known as the Peacemaker. And if you use it better than Trooper Sergeant Watson. This horse was designed to improve mounted marksmanship and is hard enough for some people to shoot standing still, let alone off the back of a galloping horse. Let's hear it for Trooper. The more firm saddle you see these troopers riding is fitted with a surge cinch or a second cinch, which tightens down, providing a more stable platform and a more accurate shooting base. Things happen fast on the battlefield, and reloading takes time. For this reason, troopers would carry several pistols at once. And let's hear it for them, ladies and gentlemen. No balloons left on target. Now watch as our riders team up and take shots from two at a time. This is a very important test of both the rider and the horses to stay in unison. can often become competitive when it's since there's not fully proximity to another horse, so it is important for the riders to constantly communicate with each other and their animals. Let's hear it for the ground crew. Go, ground crew, go. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as our riders take a lap around the course. Also, we would like to take a moment to thank the course soldiers, past, present, and future, and to all our fallen comrades. We will never forget. Now, I'd like to introduce your riders today in today's performance. Here's Sergeant Evans, Sergeant Wright, Sergeant Watson, Trooper Frost, Trooper Porter, and Trooper Strayer. Thank you very much.